Hello friends of the sun and welcome to a new video.
Today I'm meeting a YouTuber from a duo whose channel hit 1 million subscribers faster than any other. It began with a Galileo segment about his illness. Then they took off like a rocket. There were a few scandals, but ultimately the young man overcame his illness and said, "That's it for the channel, and I don't feel like it anymore. I want a regular job, so I'm wondering what he actually does." And there he is. I'm so happy that you invited me. Jan.
Yes, my pleasure.
Do you still have it in front of the camera?
I'm sure I still have it. It hasn't been long since I was last on camera. The real issue today was that, unfortunately, I didn't oversleep this time.
Yesterday we texted, slept, then opened the door?
We said 11:30, but I woke up at 11:41 and quickly tidied up. It'll work out.
Now we're doing a room tour because we want to see how a former YouTube star who now has a regular job lives. Is that from all your travels?
Money? Yeah. Those are foreign currencies that I collected during my travels.
Oh, Deutsche Mark. It was the most beautiful currency. Do you know who was on the 1,000 mark bill?
Was there a 1,000 mark bill? No, I have no idea.
The Brothers Grimm. Sorry, I love that. What's in the back here?
There's a warning cabinet. I just threw some jackets and a bit of old glass in there.
Oh, a lot of old glass. You drink wine?
Yes.
You didn't stop that, but YouTube won't mind. Now, question 1. Who are your nice roommates?
So, this is Burble.
I don't like cats at all, and this is Burble. And where is the other one?
The other one is Heidi.
Heidi is walking back there right now?
Oh, she's about to go into the closet. Well,
Should I close it? Then she'll be like Harry Potter and live in the closet.
doesn't matter.
Now she's really inside. Oh, cat, come out. I think this is our first time filming after your brain.
I had brain surgery in September 2022, just over 2 years ago.
They opened your head?
Yeah? Well, they didn't remove the entire skull cap, because they opened it in 2 places.
I spend so much time with Dr. Zokos that I imagine everything is wild.
It didn't look the same as with the forensic pathologist. Well, I have a stimulator. It's like getting little pins, like tiny needles, put into your brain.
Where?
You can still easily see the scar where it was implanted. That's connected to a cable running along here.
Oh, right. May I touch your head?
Yes, of course.
The cable works. Here's a cable.
Wow.
And it goes here into the battery.
No, this is tech.
Yes. Well, you can also see that. This here is not a sensor. This is the cable.
No. Wow.
This in the chest is just the pacemaker battery. It's like a...
How long do you have to... When do you have to change the battery?
So, I've already used up 2 years of battery life. There are 5 in total. And then, in 3 years, it has to be changed, because then the battery runs out. But when the battery runs out, I'll notice it. Then I'll start ticking again.
Is your Tourette's really gone? You just had it again.
So, not completely, but I would say it's greatly reduced. While the device is switched on,
Can you also turn it off?
I can actually turn it off myself, but I can't turn it back on. I have a remote for it and can show you now. I think the surgeon who implanted it set it up that way on purpose to prevent me from playing around with it.
Now we have a YouTube shoot. Wow.
So, to turn it back on, I need to see the doctor.
How long was the surgery?
I think about 6 or 7 hours.
Wow, because you have to say, after all, you had a pretty similar one on YouTube. You likely earned well and lived comfortably. Was it always clear to you right away, like, I can have the surgery, I'll do it? Or did you have thoughts like, oh, YouTube will be over then?
I actually did it at that time for exactly that reason, because I knew that then. So once, yes, because I'm calmer and it's more relaxing. But on the other hand, at that time I thought that it would also be a pretty good cut with social media. If I have this brain surgery, and then try to work in a normal professional field.
I still remember that gangbang couch from Cologne.
Exactly, the gangbang couch, that was already in Cologne too.
How many times did a gangbang happen on it?
Not even once.
You were in Toronto, Las Vegas, Rio, Cape Town, and Stockholm. You had to, Tim. You're still friends, so it's real.
No, that's not fake.
We don't remove any more videos. Did you have to spend a while explaining to Tim that Cape Town is a city, not Karstadt in Cologne?
I had to repeatedly explain that to him, even to this day.
You've been around a lot. Was that before or during YouTube?
Mostly during YouTube, actually. I mean, I should also say that before I started with YouTube, I worked as a secretary.
What did you do before YouTube? You had full Tourette's then, right?
Yeah. So I worked for a social organization here in Bonn as a secretary and basically as an office worker. And of course, I wouldn't have been able to pay for that with that job. All those trips, I was only able to do them because of YouTube.
All those trips, yeah.
When you flew to Milan or London, you still had to call the airport first and say, hey, I'm coming.
I might yell bomb a few times.
Yeah, I used to do that back then, but I haven't done it since the brain surgery. I let the airlines know ahead of time that this might happen, and it was fine.
Was anyone a real jerk, or were they all nice and open?
Most people were nice and open, but a bit confused. There was an incident before I started YouTube, at the airport in Birmingham, in the United Kingdom. That's when I once threw my backpack at the security check and everyone shouted, "Whack, whack," right? That was obviously unfortunate, I have to say, in that moment.
How did you react to that? Has someone said that near you? I know that's not true.
I was also traveling solo. And then, well, I was checked separately again, that's all. And, well, nobody was actually shot at.
Okay, why isn't there a golden play button hanging here?
It's hanging at Tim's place.
Why not order another so everyone has one?
Oh, is that possible?
I ordered 10. Marvin, Timo, my tax advisor, and my lawyer each have one. Are you proud of your YouTube career?
Yeah, I am. It was a crazy time, and I really miss it. So then...
The party, or what? Or the support from the people? What do you miss?
Yeah, well, you know, you're self-employed there. And I have to say, there were times when I didn't like that, but now I really appreciate it.
You're now back to a normal working life.
Yes.
You're doing an apprenticeship.
Exactly. I'm in a civil service career at a government agency.
Where the enemy, yes, what do you do? So are you a typical civil servant, just drinking coffee, or do you actually have a job? Now all the civil servants are writing, how can you say something like that?
No, we truly work there.
So what do you do, or do you not want to say?
Well, right now I'm in the practical phase working as a clerk, and I can't really go into specifics.
Are you dealing with someone's taxes?
No, that's done by the tax office, that's not me.
Okay, wow, all right, then let's sit down for a moment. I still have a lot of questions. And maybe you at home sometimes think, hey, my job annoys me, I need something different. I have a great recommendation for you. Jan, we could go back to the very beginning with you now to talk about your childhood and all that, but you've already done all that when I spent a day with you back then.
That was 4 years ago, when we held our live event in Cologne at the Tanzboden. Back then, I still had red hair.
When you leave here later, will you still hold back or let it out?
Well, here I'm completely natural. Everything's out in the open.
What makes me happiest is that you finally stopped with those weird hair farms. You were sometimes Eminem or Slim Shady, then Lexi Rocks.
Yeah, I dyed my hair for 2 years, actually. Especially when I look back at that phase where I had white, almost light yellow hair.
Yeah, like a poor man's Slim Shady.
Seeing those old pictures is really awful, but...
Back then, you thought it was cool.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I figured it was a good idea. And above all, that was during our own joint series. I did that one day before filming started. They said, yeah, you can do that, but it has to stay like that now. Otherwise, we'll have a continuity error in the editing.
I think you're the fastest channel to hit 1 million followers.
Yeah, I think so. So, we started in February 2019, and by April or the end of March 2019, we had 1 million followers.
It started with Galileo, right? Exactly.
I study bitches. I was conceived during a threesome.
That's not true.
Television slut. That was on Galileo a month before we started with YouTube. And at that time, I wouldn't have expected that at all. I've never really used YouTube myself before.
Never watched anything?
Yeah, I did. But for example, at that time, I wasn't even aware that you could make money with YouTube. Actually.
A lot of people still don't think that's possible?
And yeah, at that time, I definitely didn't have the intention of becoming a YouTuber. And then Tim, thank God, suggested the idea back then to upload a Q&A about it. And that.
But it was a brand new channel, so Galileo was really taking off also on YouTube. There were even reactions to it. And then you said, come on, let's do a Q&A video. And that worked.
That went pretty viral. My thoughts aren't about fries all the time, and when I see my mother, I don't suddenly think of calling her something like Fletchen or something Pommes Fletchen. And the next video was when we spent a day at the zoo in Cologne, and that one really went viral. That was our second uploaded video.
What's your conclusion about the zoo? How's it going with the Tourette's?
Yeah, it's going well. People haven't really reacted yet. They're looking about the same as usual. I'm the wildest monkey here.
How long did you do YouTube? From mid-19 until...
4.5 years. Wow.
It doesn't seem long to me.
Yeah, it felt faster to me too. Just 4.5 years. And about 3 of those were really active.
Were you able to enjoy the time and the hype, or did it go by too fast?
In 2019, the hype grew quickly. But I have to say, I was able to enjoy it. That's just how it was. So many crazy things happened in such a short time. It was kind of surreal.
What were the wildest things, besides Bella and me visiting you in Bonn?
Well, that was definitely the highlight of the work. Also, invitations to radio and television that we then... For example, we once hosted the KSFM morning show in Berlin for a week. That was also the moment when I quit my old job back then. Because my boss didn't like it very much that I was suddenly gone from work for a week back then. He said either start social media now or keep working here. I chose social media. But we parted ways on good terms, so to speak, at least work-wise. And then all these events that we never would have gotten into before, of course, that was a lot of fun. It was just so new. And at that time, you didn't really realize that all of this was happening?
Were there any negative things as well?
Yes, there were. Does public attention also have downsides? Definitely.
Which ones?
That was in 2019. It wasn't clear yet at that time.
At first, everyone loved you and said, great, you're raising awareness about the illness. It even had real entertainment value.
That's true. It's mainly Bulney, since he suddenly became so prominent in the media so fast. And that you just didn't have any time to learn how to deal a bit better with, well, with some things. Especially the negative stuff, I'd say. Well, of course, we also made 1 or 2 bigger or smaller mistakes during our time on YouTube.
If you had to, which mistakes would you say?
Well, of course, the way Tim's song was promoted.
Were you aware of that, or were you just really clueless? I mean, that was the point. Tim's grandpa unfortunately passed away.
Yes, he died a few months ago.
Exactly, and Tim had a great relationship with him. He then wrote a song for him, but the marketing plan was done in such a way that people might have thought that something had happened to you as well.
That might have happened. I approved everything without question.
Because you were partying, uninterested, or thought it would be fine?
I thought it would be fine, and I was partying. I'm not even sure if I can tell it like this, but it was on the day when the song was announced. Also, that I didn't reach out for hours. And the reason for that was because at that time, I was breaking the curfew in Cologne. I don't know if I'm allowed to admit that here.
And what other missteps were there?
Yeah, well, we also released an app once that I really regret today in hindsight.
That's right, there was that too.
That was thoughtless. So we took it back after 3 months.
Did someone offer to build you an app, or did you seek someone after having the idea?
Yes, someone approached us about that. But we removed the app after 3 months. Well, I also think that maybe we had 1 or 2 verbal tics with, let's say, rather politically extreme content. That, we could have explained that a bit better, or shouldn't have published it so out of context. Well, you could have said a bit more about that too, but of course, you're always wiser in hindsight.
Yeah, at some point it was like, how could you, Gisela? It was really, how could you control Gisela? Actually, you couldn't really control her back then, could you?
I could control her very little, if at all. When I was in the spotlight and the camera was on me, it got much more intense and worse. In the end, it was re-edited. Of course, that also gave the impression. It looked even more intense than it actually was throughout the whole day.
Did people notice? With the videos, many expected the tics. Did you intentionally leave Gisela alone?
I'd be lying if I said no. It did happen occasionally. So, it was never staged or anything, but because we shifted the focus so much onto the goal, I kind of got myself worked up in that moment.
Then I'd say let's continue the room tour for now, because there's still the kitchen and there's still the bedroom where the action happens. And then of course we'll meet Tim, because you have to say.
Many thought you weren't a crew anymore after the "we're quitting" video because you fully withdrew.
And Tim continues with social media. I see him often, and we always laugh a lot. Until recently, you were gone, but lately you've been more active on Instagram.
Yeah, otherwise I was gone. I don't think I used Instagram all year. And now I occasionally post something if there's something interesting going on in my life.
Now we're in the kitchen. I have to say your cooking videos back then always escalated. So A, did it escalate for you too, but also for Lius?
Oh, that's the loveliest shade of red. You like red? That's especially true during the first lockdown when I was still, well, I stayed with my uncle for a short time. It's a small town in Rhineland-Palatinate, down south. My family is from that area, and I thought the apartment was really nice.
How is your mom? I met her and she's the sweetest.
Yeah, she's doing well.
How did your family handle you suddenly getting the pacemaker?
When I told them about my planned surgery, they thought it was intense. Well, especially because it's a brain surgery and you're awake during it. They were really worried about the surgery.
What was the worst that could happen?
The worst outcome was that the brain surgery might not help at all, that the wrong part of the brain would somehow be affected, and that it wouldn't have any impact on the condition.
Okay.
So it's not like there's a risk that you could die or be harmed in some way. Well, I think every surgery carries risks, but in this case, it wasn't significantly higher than, for example, with knee surgery.
Now I have the next question. So here it goes. So here it's in the head. Then the cable somehow goes over like this and is placed like this because you don't have a scar either. That means they push it here?
They must have pushed it somehow. I even have an X-ray of my head. I can show it to you sometime if you want. Please.
I have to say, hats off to all the PhD students, researchers, and everything you all do. If it were just up to us, let's be honest, we wouldn't have fire.
There would only be good entertainment.
Well, not even that. Look. Wow, that's really stuck in your head.
Yes. What you see here and what goes in there is the actual pacemaker.
So just to clarify, it's pushed in really deep.
So, there are two of them right here in the middle, and they're connected by a cable up here, which then goes down into the battery here.
Did you notice when he pushed it in like that?
Yeah, I did. You don't feel pain in your brain, but you do feel something. It was strange and very cold. I can't fully describe the feeling.
I think it's awesome that you did it. You were, but YouTube was fine then. You never faced real setbacks. Everything went well and everyone liked you until criticism began. Then it was like, hey, they're overdoing it a bit. Would you say you understand that in hindsight? That some people said, wow, they're really milking it?
I can understand that to some extent. A lot of what we did was already kind of exaggerated. At that time, I mean, we had no media experience but grew rapidly and became very successful. It was the right thing to do then. I don't think we made any major mistakes.
We need to talk about it now.
You didn't, I mean, maybe you went a little overboard sometimes, but you didn't hurt anyone, not at all. Everything was relaxed.
Those are two young guys who made a lot of good money pretty quickly.
That's true.
And a ton of attention. And I think, how old were you then?
20? When we started?
If I'd had your reach at 20 or walked with Gnossi, no, I'm serious. So that's why it's totally fine. When I think back on a lot of things, I would say that at some point you guys showed up in the Mercedes. From the outside, I would say you really boosted the economy and didn't hold back with your money.
About the cars. It was similar to other YouTubers. We had very important person leasing too.
Best regards to Mercedes.
And the cars weren't bought. As I said, they were leased.
But still, it costs $1,000 a month.
I'm not sure if it was 1,000. We'd need to ask Tim. That was paid monthly from our company account and is tax deductible since it's a company car.
Oh, now the tax expert is coming out. Now the official is showing through.
Yeah. Well, I would say that we managed our finances. Really? Yeah. Looking back, we could have done it better.
Yeah, well, you can always do better, but that's just how it is. You can always do better. And then there's KS Freak Style.
Yeah? Wasn't it the case with him that he thought YouTubers didn't have to pay taxes?
I know that's probably the case for 90% of YouTubers, but there's this thing where you go bankrupt afterwards and have problems and everything. And then there's this, like, wow, if I had saved a bit more, maybe I would have a condo or something like that now.
Yeah. So, I'm not bankrupt, and I don't have any debts either.
Then you did everything right.
Yeah. Well, I would say I have. I spent most of my money on travel and have no regrets.
No, because you always have those trips here.
Yeah. And from your back, too.
That's right, show your tattoo. Come on, show it.
Every country you've been to, you leave it then.
Yeah, it's up to date. I was last at Telubira about 1 or 2 months ago. This summer, I traveled in India again.
Now, a key part of your crew.
With Thunderstorm in the head, it was you and Tim. Would it have existed without Tim?
No, definitely not. I never considered doing YouTube by myself. Exactly. I can't actually do it, or edit the videos. If he hadn't been there, we never would have started.
You and Tim have been friends since childhood.
Yeah, since school.
How did he react? Because you built something together, you made good money, you're business partners. But let me put it this way. The business partner suddenly says, hey, I have the chance to get healthy. And that's probably why YouTube won't work anymore.
When I told him I wanted to quit, he thought it was a shame, but understood, so it wasn't a problem for him. I told him about it several months before our official departure, so we both had enough time to bring things to a close.
And here the party is getting started, yeah.
So this is where I sleep.
Ah, Pride, it's just a bedroom. I heard having a television in the bedroom means not much happens. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's right. It's used quite often, actually.
Okay, you have the remote control that decides about your brain pacemaker buried somewhere.
It's just lying here in the cupboard. So,
Sorry, hey, you have to say, it's like this again. You're looking for the remote control that's for your head. Like when I say, where are the report cards?
I just have it here from the company that implanted the stimulator for me. And that's basically the thing for it. I don't know if I charged it. I need to bring it to my doctor appointments, so if I forget it, there's a problem. He also has a device that he can use to connect to it. He does it on a small computer and then adjusts it.
Your doctor has something like a car mechanic who holds it up to all the cars and reads the error?
Yeah, there's a magnet on the battery, and he can use his device, which is like an iPad, to set it up.
I've been saying wow a lot because it's amazing that something like that exists. You feel disillusioned because it's about your brain. The suitcase is like when you order an antenna from Freenet or something, it's just a completely normal box. I imagined it would come in a golden casket, you know, for your head, and instead it's packed like...
I find it interesting too, but you get used to it quickly.
Does it sometimes cut out?
Well, not really any real dropouts. Of course, I still have some motor tics from time to time. Very rarely, a sound comes out again. Those aren't true dropouts. It doesn't cut out that way, but it can fail.
Please take this. I'm afraid I'll make a mistake.
Yeah, it's turned off anyway.
Ah, okay, but why would you turn it off?
I don't know either. I have no reason to do that now, but theoretically I could. But I can't turn it back on or adjust it, especially not that. That's actually good, because it was set too high before. I recently experienced severe sensory overload after surgery. It only took a few days to find the right setting.
After surgery, you're still in the hospital and then you get...
I spent a week in the hospital after surgery. This stimulator has... So, there are two, as I just saw on the X-ray. Two antennas, basically, or two sensors that are inside there. And each of them has several hundred functions. And each individual function can also have different strengths. And right now, only one of them is being used for me. So you can do a lot more with it. It's also used for other conditions, especially Parkinson's, when people have tremors and twitching.
That's also where it's used?
Yes, it's used for depression and chronic pain, but less commonly for addiction disorders.
I'm really glad that you're telling him, hey, that step. First of all, I have to say, as a fellow YouTuber, when you noticed it, you're always busy and you thanked me in your farewell video, which made me happy. It's a life where you make good money, and as a civil servant, you likely earn well too, but not like during the hype. To make this decision and say, I want to get healthy, I've done this for as long as I've had the illness. Saying I'm stopping was the greatest sign of respect for me.
Yes, thank you.
How many views do you get per month, approximately?
I'm not sure right now, but it's a decent amount.
What do you mean by a decent amount?
I've heard Waititi still earns well from her channel, even though she's been gone a long time. Are you still earning thousands of euros from your YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's true.
More than two? Then, Timo, let's stop and listen to how often he deserves it.
That depends. Well, if you look at the net amount, that could be about right.
You and Tim split it like before, each getting half?
Yeah, just like before.
That's what I call friendship.
All right, then let's go visit Tim. Yeah, sure, we're gonna meet Tim now and see what he's up to.
Timo only packed 2 mics because he's just not doing his job.
So if you're looking for a new job or as a company for employees, I can recommend Jabu to you. Now he's here with us, Tim, since we don't film in front of the houses. I can put it this way, the guy is rich, big house, I wouldn't have thought that. Are you really friends?
Yeah, you didn't even hug when you greeted each other like friends do. You just come out and say, hey, how's it going?
Do you know why that was? Because I was so out of it when you buzzed me down, since I just completely renovated my apartment yesterday because I thought my apartment was going to be here.
I actually wanted to do that too, but it didn't work out for me either. We agreed on 11:30 today, but I got up at 11:40.
Oh, you actually cleaned up?
Yeah, cleaned everything, vacuumed, mopped. Oh, no, definitely not.
They had the day off?
Yes, exactly.
Now everyone will think you're for rich parents.
I have a normal apartment.
How are you? I checked earlier. The video where you guys stopped was a year ago. What happened during that year?
Wow, that's a good question. A self-discovery phase. After Jan considered it, I also wondered if I wanted to continue and what I actually want to do. Because, of course, it's also a change in terms of content. Yeah, I still haven't really found the 100% right thing for me, where I can say that's where I'm putting 100% effort and energy into.
How did you feel when Jan told you, Tim, thunderstorm in the head, I'm leaving?
Because in the farewell video, you could see that it really hurt you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it still hurts me even now. People still comment under my TikToks or whatever saying, oh, hey, we miss you, we miss you. I miss it too, but I accepted it because of Jan's reasons, so what should I do? If he says he doesn't want to do it anymore, I understand that. He gave me his reasons, and I can understand them too.
Did success change you? I've known you from beginning to end, and I can say no.
That's definitely the thing. I can definitely say that. That especially in the 3rd year, I would say, at some point I wasn't doing so well mentally. Especially the backlash and its aftermath. Also other things that might have been a wrong decision for me, but weren't necessarily a wrong decision for the people out there. Where I always thought to myself, I overthought everything way too much, and why did I do it that way? Why did I do it that way? And I really got myself pretty lost in it. And I really wasn't doing well anymore. At some point, I also tried really hard. I don't even want to... That sounds like I'm not really going down the sad path right now. I went back to therapy because I realized I couldn't handle it anymore. Eventually, I couldn't be alone with my thoughts because I was so hard on myself.
There was a spider.
If I were to ask both of you now, what was the most beautiful experience?
So what do you look back on and say, oh, that really warms my heart, besides the fact that you're still friends, love each other and all that?
I always say that week we spent in Mexico was amazing.
Mexico was insane.
Yeah, especially the...
Insane or mental?
Yeah.
Good that you can see through it. There's some insanity in the comments.
Well, that was we had to, we were invited to it. And that was just completely surreal from start to finish. That was really cool. Especially our accommodation. It was pretty wild, too. And to see Formula One from the pit like that. Well, I think, yeah, that's just something. Some people would kill for that.
What could you have skipped? What did you realize you didn't need to experience?
Definitely the shitstorm.
There were several, right?
Yeah, then all of them.
I recently met Miguel Pablo, who also did some not so smart things. Your song promotion wasn't so smart either. But after that, you uploaded that one video, right? The one where you were crying.
Yeah, that was my apology video.
Didn't anyone look over it? He had management, right? Didn't Jan at least say, man, Tim, come on, let's wait another 48 hours?
That was just a rushed action in the middle of the night, right?
Hey guys, I don't know, the thing is I could understand all of it, but for me it was like, dude, the whole internet is talking about it right now and no one is giving me a chance to say anything about it. And because I was desperate to say something about it, I just blurted something out that wasn't really thought through. I spoke emotionally, which wasn't smart. I could have avoided that.
Years later, does it still get to you? Or do you laugh about it and say to yourself, yeah, that's just how it is? Well, when I see it from the outside, I think, yeah, it didn't go perfectly. Screw it. How is it for you guys?
What do you mean by takeaway? It's still not nice for me. I still think about it from time to time, sure. When I'm lying in bed at night and so on, I still think about it. But I just told myself that I won't make these mistakes anymore and that something like this just won't happen again and that I've learned from it.
Now I can already see the comments on the video.
I'm wondering too, will there be a comeback or new YouTube videos or a way for people to see you regularly, aside from your personal social media?
There are no concrete plans yet, and you need to consider what that would involve. First, I need to finish my current professional work.
First, finish my training and check it off.
Hopefully finish it.
Yeah, why? Are you in school?
Yeah, well, they're all law subjects, and there's so much about regulations, it just feels like half a law degree. I think all civil servants know what I mean. Yeah, but I'm very optimistic about it. And if there's ever a comeback, well, I have no idea. Yeah, nice weather in your head, life without Tourette's.
You made more videos after the surgery. They were solid. Then Jan just said, okay. In terms of training, how's it going for you with an apprenticeship?
The thing is, a lot of people are asking me about that, even right now.
You always check Jobber to see what's available? That's true.
No, the thing is, I just say it like this. So first, I'll just keep doing this whole social media thing because it just feels like that's my calling. Nothing brings me more joy, and if I can't do it anymore, I'll find something else. Why start an apprenticeship now?
What job would you take if all else failed?
That's a good question.
I know Tim well. I can't imagine having a heart attack. Get the defibrillator. Sure, Tim, here.
I'm ready right away.
Good, I'm happy now. I noticed that you're more active. You don't post as much about your cats anymore, so I can't tease you as much. I noticed. Jan, are you okay? Do you regret saying that's it for now?
No, I don't.
You're doing well too.
I feel like I'm slowly getting back on my feet.
Yeah, it takes time. Don't forget, you guys were recently the fastest rising rocket on YouTube. It also feels like ages ago when you talk about it.
Yeah, totally. It all feels like a dream.
Over 5 years, and it went by so quickly. We had February 2019, and in a few months, that'll be 6 years ago.
Crazy, right? So if you say, I love the guys and I've missed them, feel free to follow Jan on Instagram. There are regular stories there. Tim is active. You can find all the links in the video description. If you liked it, give the video a thumbs up. You can suggest who I should visit. And I hope we were able to clarify what actually does